Gotramatra Swarupam Rupam Tasya Grajam Urupurim Mathurim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaram Ahoradika Madhavasam Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurum Tato Tam Natosmi. He Guru Gyanananda Dinabandhu Swanananda Data Karuneka Sindhu Vrindavan Sina Hitavatara Prasida Radha Pranaya Prachara. He Dinabandhu Karuneka Sindhu Guru Kripa Maimanda Mure Laksha Parade Bahupap Gade Tatpada Padme Tu Matischa Krishne. Yadyapi Amara Guru Chaitanya Radasam Tathapi Janiye Amitanhara Prakasham Guru Krishna Rupa Hana Shastrena Pramane Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa Karena Bhakta Gane Shiksha Guru Ke Tajani Krishnera Swarupa Antaryami Bhakta Shreshta Edui Rupa Naivopapayanti apichitam kavayastavesha Brahma yushapi kritam ridam muda smaranta Yo antar bahistanu britam ashubhim viduvan Acharya chaita vapushasvam gatim vyayanti. Without serving the representative of Krishna, nobody can approach Krishna. I bow down to the beautiful lotus feet of my spiritual master, by whose causeless mercy I obtained the supreme holy name, the divine mantra, the service of the son of Sachi Mata, the association of Srila Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami and his older brother Sanatan Goswami, the supreme abode of Mathura, the blissful abode of Vrindavan, the divine Radha Kund and the Govardhan hill. The desire within my heart for the loving service of Sri Radhika and Madhava and Vrindavan. O spiritual master, O giver of divine wisdom, O friend of the fallen, you are the giver of your own bliss and you are the only ocean of mercy. Although dwelling in Vrindavan, you have descended for the welfare of fallen souls like myself, and you are preaching the divine love of Radha for Krishna. Please be kind upon me. O friend of the lowly, O Gurudev, you are the only ocean of mercy. I am a dull fool and I have committed hundreds of thousands of offenses. I have fallen into a dense myriad of sins. Therefore, grace me with your mercy so that my mind be fixed on your lotus feet and on Sri Krishna. Although I know my spiritual master is a servitor of Sri Chaitanya, I know that as a plenary manifestation of the Lord. Every living entity is eternally a servant of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Therefore, the spiritual master cannot be other than a servant of Lord Chaitanya. The spiritual master's eternal occupation is to expand the service of the Lord by training disciples in a service attitude. According to the deliberate opinion of all revealed scriptures, the spiritual master is non-different from Krishna. Lord Krishna, in the form of spiritual master, delivers his devotees. The relationship of a disciple with his spiritual master is as good as his relationship with the Supreme Lord. Spiritual masters always represent themselves as the humble servitors of the personality of Godhead. But the disciple must look upon the spiritual master as the manifested representation of Godhead. One should know the instructing spiritual master to be the personality of Krishna. Lord Krishna manifests himself as the super soul and as the greatest devotee of the Lord. The initiating spiritual master is a personal manifestation of Srila Madan Mohan Vigraha, whereas the instructing spiritual master is a personal representative of Srila Govindeva Vigraha. O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their indebtedness to you, even though they were endowed with prolonged lifetime of Brahma. For you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Super Soul, and to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. Our only wish is to have our consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. opens our darkened eyes and fills our hearts with transcendental knowledge. He is our Lord, birth after birth. From him, ecstatic prema emanates. By him, ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor and the Lord and the master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. We can bring harmonium. Oh, no, for me. Shri Guru. You can play kirtan. Yeah. Shri Guru Charana Padmam Kevala Bhakati Sadmam. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadmam. Bandhu mui savadana mate. Bandhu mui savadana mate. Yahara prasade bhai e bhavatoriya jai. Krishna prapti hoya hoite. Krishna prapti hoya hoite. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kariya Ekya. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kariya Ekya. Arna kori ho mane asha. Arna kori ho mane asha. Shri Guru Charane Rati Se Uttama Gati. He prasade pu pure sarva asha. Ye prasade pure sarva asha. चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशिता दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशिता प्रेम भक्ति यहाँ होते अविद्या विनाशा जाते हृदय गाय आहार चरित हृदय गाय आहार चरित श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधु लोके नाथ लोके राजीवाना लोके नाथ लोके राजीवाना आहा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पाद छाया एबे गाय दुसुख त्रिभुवाना एबे आय दुसुख त्रिभुवाना प्रभुपाद पतित पावना जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चाता देशतारिणे Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. So we can sing another kirtan? Yeah, we can you change to Ujjvala? Huh? Ujjvala varana gauravaradeham vilasita niravadhi bhava videham. Tribhuvana pavana kripaya lesham tam pranamami cha Shri Chaitanyam. Gadgada antara bhava vikaram Durjana tarjana nada vishalam. Gati bhava bhaya bhanjana karana karunam tam pranamami cha Shri Chaitanyam. Arunambaradhara charu kapolam Nindu vinindita nakachaya ruchiram Jalpita nija guna nama vinodam Tam pranamami cha Shri Sachidanayam Vigalita nayana kamla jaladharam Bhushana navarasa bhava vikaram Gati ati mantara nitya vilasam Tam pranamami cha Shri Sachidanayam Chanchala charu charana gati ruchiram Manjira ranjita padayuga madhuram Chandra vinindita shitala vadanam Tam pranamami cha Shri Sachidanayam Titakati dora kamandalu dandam Divya kalevara mundita mundam Durjana kalmasha khandana dandam Tam pranamami cha Shri Sachidanayam Bhushana bhurajala kavalitam Kampita bimbadhara vara ruchiram Malaya javira chitta ujvala tilakam Tam pranamami cha Shri Sachidanayam Nindita aruna kamla nala nayanam Ajanulambita Shri Bhujayugalam Kalevara Kaishora Nartakavesham Tam pranamami cha Shri Sachidanayam Ujvala varna gauravada deham Vilasita niravati bhava videyam Tribhuvana pavana kripaya lesham Tam pranamami cha Shri Sachidanayam Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sarahari. Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Gaurahari. Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Gaurahari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vibhavari Sheshaloka Pravesha Nidra Chadi Utha Jiva. Bolo Hare Hare Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva. Narsimha Vamana Shrimadusudana Brajendra Nandana Shyama. Putana Gatana Gaitabashatana Jaya Dasharati Rama. Yashoda Lala Govinda Gopala Vrindavana Purandara. Gopi Priya Jana Radhika Ramana Bhuvana Sundara Vara. Ravana Takara Makhana Taskara Gopi Jana Vastrahari. Brajera Rakhala Gopa Brindapala Chitari Bamsidhari. Yogendra Bandana Shinanda Nandana Raja Jana Bhayahari. Navina Nirada Rupa Manohara Bohana Vamsi Bihari. Yashoda Nandana Kamshadishodana Nikunja Rasa Vilasi. Kadamba Kanana Rasa Parayana Vrindavipina Nivasi. Ananda Vardhana Premanikeetana Phula Jara Jojagama. Gopanga Gangana Chitta Vinodana Samasta Guna Gana Dhama. Ananda Vardhana Yamuna Jivana Keli Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakora. Nama Sudharasa Gao Krishna Dasa Rakho Vachana Manamora. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai. Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatam Jaye Mudirayet Shenvatam Sakata Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana Hridyantostva Bhadrani Vidunoti Sruhasatam नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतत्वमश्लोके नैष्टिकी भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रये। Hare Krishna. I would like to again welcome all the Vaishnavas who have assembled here, and also my obeisances to all the senior Vaishnavas who have assembled here. Please pray so that the right words, and bless me so that the right words come from the mouth, and I can please the Vaishnavas and the Gurujanas, Srila Prabhupada and Shri Krishna. I was in LA last week, and Deenbandhu, His Grace Deenbandhu Prabhu was traveling, and he started the Bhagavatam class, and after 15 minutes he said, now I'm going to speak on Dhruva Maharaja. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, for a second I was like, oh, I've heard this so many times. But then within 5-10 minutes of his speaking, I realized that every devotee has his own realizations from years of practice. And every time when we hear these pastimes, even if it is repeated pastime, it helps us to understand or rejuvenate our determination towards Krishna consciousness. So when Sri Gopal Prabhu pinged me that about Saturday class, usually I take a day almost to decide what topic to speak on. Immediately I decided Dhruva Maharaj. So we'll speak from pastime of Maharaj Dhruva. Prabhu, can we go to 4th canto, chapter 8, verse number 42? Yeah. You can repeat after me. Tattat gaccha bhadram te. This is 4:8:42. Just Tattat gaccha bhadram te Yamunayastatam shuchi Punyam madhuvanam yatra Sanidhyam nityadahare. Tattat gaccha bhadram te Yamunayastatam shuchi Punyam madhuvanam yatra Sanidhyam nityadahare. Anyone wants to recite? We can repeat. Tattat gaccha bhadram te Yamunayastatam shuchi
Madhuvanam yatra
Punyam madhuvanam yatra
Sanidhyam nityadahare.
Sanidhyam nityadahare.
Tattat gaccha bhadram te
Tattat gaccha bhadram te
Yamunayastatam suchi
Yamunayastatam shuchi
Punnam madhubanam yatra
Punyam madhuvanam yatra
Sannidham nityadahare.
Sanidhyam nityadahare.
Tattat gaccha bhadram te
Tattat gaccha bhadram te
Yamunayastatam shuchi
Yamunayastatam shuchi
Punyam madhubanam yatra
Punyam madhuvanam yatra
Sannidhyam nityadahare.
Sanidhyam nityadahare. Thank you, Prabhu. Synonyms: Tat, that; Tat, my dear son. Tat also means, you would have heard this many times in Mahabharata. Hey Tat, elderly are addressing the younger people by Tat. like that. Gacha, go. Bhadram, good fortune. Te, for you. Yamunaya, of the Yamuna. Tatam, bank. Shuchi, being purified. Punyam, the holy. Madhuvanam, of the name Madhuvan. Yatra, where. Sanidhyam, being nearer. Nityada, always. Hari, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah. Translation. My dear boy, I therefore wish all good fortune for you. You should go to the bank of Yamuna Tatam, where there is a virtuous forest named Madhuvan, and there be purified. Just by going there, one draws nearer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always lives there. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Both Narad Muni and Suniti, the mother of Dhruva Maharaj, advised Dhruva Maharaj to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, even Suruchi said the same thing. We will see in the when we are reading the story. Now, Narad Muni is especially giving him directions how this worship of the Supreme Person can very quickly fructify. He recommends that Dhruva Maharaj go to the bank of Yamuna, where there is a forest of name Madhuvan, and begin his meditation and worship there. Places of pilgrimage yield a special advantage for a devotee in quickly advancing his spiritual life. So it is one analogy that I heard from His Grace Deenbandhu Prabhu. He said that of understanding that why we have to go to such holy places compared to, because Krishna is everywhere. So he gives the analogy that water is everywhere. But in Jaipur, you have to dug 10 kilometers down or 10 whatever in US miles to get water. Whereas at any other place where there is lot of water, it's easily available. So Krishna is like that, easily available. In holy places like Vrindavan Dham and other places, we'll see Dwarka. Lord Krishna lives everywhere, but still it is very easy to approach Him in holy places of pilgrimage because these places are inhabited by great sages. Lord Shri Krishna says that He lives wherever His devotees are chanting the glories of His transcendental activities. There are many places of pilgrimage in India, and especially prominent are Badri Narayan, Dwarka, Rameshwar and Jagannath Puri. These are we can scroll down. These sacred places are called the four Dhamas. Dhama refers to a place where one can immediately contact the Supreme Lord. To go to Badri Narayan, one has to pass through Haridwar on the path to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This entire pastime of Maitreya Rishi speaking to Vidura was spoken in Haridwar, the place. So it's very potent. Similarly, there are other holy places of pilgrimage such as Prayag, Allahabad, Mathura, and the topmost of them all is Vrindavan. Unless one is very advanced in spiritual life, it is recommended that he live in such holy places and execute devotional service there. But an advanced devotee like Narad Muni, who is engaged in preaching work, can serve the Supreme Lord anywhere. Sometimes he even goes to hellish planets. Hellish conditions do not affect Narad Muni because he is engaged in greatly responsible activities in devotional service. According to the statement of Narad Muni, Madhuvan, which is still existing in Vrindavan area, it is very close. So a lot of places you will see Madhuvan and Mathura used, some places interchangeably because it's only 5 kilometers from Mathura. In fact, the Braj Mandal Parikrama that happens in Vrindavan, they start from sort of in Mathura and the next destination first is Madhuvan. They go like that. The district of Mathura is a most sacred place. Many saintly persons still live there and engage in devotional service of the Lord. There are 12 forests in the area of Vrindavan and Madhuvan is one of them. Pilgrims from all parts of India assemble together and visit all 12 of these forests. There are 5 forests on the eastern bank of the Yamuna: Bhadravan, Bilvavan, Lahuavan, Bhandirvan and Mahavan. On the western side of the bank, there are 7. Madhuvan, Talavan, Kumudavan, Bahulavan, Kamyavan, Khandirvan and Vrindavan. In those 12 forests, there are different ghats or bathing places. They are listed as follows: Avimukta, Adhirudha, Guhya Tirtha, Prayag Tirtha, Kanakhala, Tinduka Tirtha, Surya Tirtha, Vataswami, Dhruva Ghat, where there are many nice trees of fruits and flowers, is famous because Dhruva Maharaj meditated and underwent severe penances and austerities there in an elevated spot. So near the Madhuvan also there is a place called Dhruva Tila. Rishi Tirtha, Moksha Tirtha, Buddha Tirtha, Gokarna, Krishna, Ganga, Vaikunta, Asi Kunda, Chatu, Samudrika Kupa, Akrura Tirtha, when Krishna and Balram were going to Mathura in the chariot driven by Akrura. All of them took part in Ghat. Yagyakya, Viprasthana, Kubja Kupa, Rangasthala, Manchasthala, Malayuddha Sthana, and Dashashvamedha. So many holy places within a holy place. So, Prabhu, can we go to the Mangalacharan? Then we can start our class. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Venevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate grim yat patamham bande Shri Guru Dintaranam Paramananda Madhavam Ishwaram. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Shtaya Bhutale Srimati Radhanam Swami Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Shtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktidan Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisheshunvadi Pashrade Deshatarine. On this point of Krishna stays in holy places. He's everywhere, but in holy places is more accessible. Mukundat Prabhu from Vrindavan, he narrates a pastime. Many of you would have heard, but it's just so sweet pastime. It's between Pope and Mukundat Prabhu. So once Mukundat Prabhu was in Italy, and he was invited by Pope for a discussion. So Mukundat Prabhu says this story. So there was a golden sort of phone was there where Pope had invited, and then Mukundat Prabhu Pope said to Mukundat Prabhu, you can use the phone. We use this phone to talk to Krishna. So Mukundat Prabhu, is it? Yeah, I mean to the God. He said like that. So Mukundat Prabhu picked up the phone, and then for 1 minute something, and then he kept down the phone, and then Mukundat Prabhu asked how much I have to pay for this call. So Pope said, don't worry, it's all good. No, so he said, no, I should pay. Tell me how much I have to pay. And then Mukundat Prabhu, then the Pope said $120. So Mukundat Prabhu gave the Lakshmi as donation And then after some years, Pope was traveling to Vrindavan. I mean, he was actually traveling to Delhi, but because of his previous connection with Mukundat, he knew that in Vrindavan this personality is staying. So he decided to go and meet Mukundat Prabhu in Vrindavan. And Mukundat Prabhu knew the same Pope is coming. So he also kept a telephone nearby. And then Mukundat Prabhu told the Pope when he came, oh, you can also use the phone. We also use phone to talk to our Lord Krishna. He said, oh, is it? He said, yeah. He said, okay, you can use the phone. So then he also picked up the phone. And then after 1 minute, he also kept down the phone. And then Pope said, how much I have to pay for this? And Mukundat Prabhu said, no, don't worry. You don't have to pay anything. He said, no, I should pay something. Then Mukundat Prabhu said, okay, you can pay 2 rupees. And then Pope said, only 2 rupees? He said, yeah, because it's a local call. Because in Vrindavan, Krishna is very easily accessible. So, Prabhu, can we go to the next verse? Since we are talking about Vrindavan, there is a glorification of Kalindi. Because it was mentioned, Yamunayas Tatam, Shuchi. That place of Yamuna, Tata, is very Shuchi. I mean, those times, it was very clean. Right? And then the next verse says, Snatvanu Savanam Tasmin. So, Anu Savanam, if you see here Srila Prabhupada explains as 3 times. So I was wondering how there is a connection. So basically Savanam, Anu means to follow, and Savanam means having daily duties. So something, taking snana, bath, daily duties. And Srila Prabhupada is so amazing, he is making things easier for us. That means you have to take 3 times a day. So that's why that Anu Savanam. If you see Anu Savanam independently, then we might not understand what is 3 times. But when we see it with conjunction with Snatva, taking bath, it is 3 times. Tasmin. Kalindya Salile Shilve. Kalindya is Yamuna river, Salile water. Kritvo Chitani Nivasan Atmana Kalpitasanaha. So, Prabhu, can we go to the translation? Narad Muni instructed my dear boy in the waters of Yamuna river. So, here Narad Muni is instructing Dhruva Maharaj what you have to do. We'll go to the flashback, how this all started, but just trying to explain first this entire section. My dear boy, in the water of Yamuna river, which is known as Kalindi, you should take 3 baths daily because the water is very auspicious, sacred and clear. After bathing, you should perform the necessary regulatory principles for Ashtanga Yoga and then sit down on your asan, sitting place in a calm and quiet position. If you go up, here the word Uchitani is used, and here Srila Prabhupada explains it as suitable. Srila Vishwan Chakri Thakur in his commentary, he explains that this Uchitani also means making suitable offerings for the Lord. But in this case, how did Dhruva Maharaj was able to do suitable offerings for the Lord? So one of the instructions that Narad Muni had given to Dhruva Maharaj was to make a deity out of earth and water. Can we go to 56th verse, Prabhu? So, a lot of times when you think about Dhruva Maharaj and the austerities he had to do, we think from the thing of Ashtanga Yoga. But actually, it was all surrounded. The crux was Bhakti Yoga. Deity was there. Chanting of mantras was there. Offering of the deities was there. Everything was happening. Labdhva dravyam mayim archam, right? Archanam. Kshityambu ambu vadishu varchayet. Abhritatma muni shanto yata vahmita vanyabhuk. Can we go to the translation? So here it is mentioned, it is possible to worship a form of the Lord made of physical elements such as earth, water, pulp, wood and metal. In Srimad Bhagavatam it is explained there are 8 ways by which we can form a deity. And that is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto 27th chapter. It's in verse number 12. It says Shaili Darumayi then Lohi Lepya Lekhya Cha Saikati Manomai, Manimai, Pratima, Ashtavida, Smrita. So the 8 forms, Ashtavida is 8 forms. Smrita means you can remember. Pratima means deity. You can remember the deity by making them in any of these 8 forms. So Shaili. Shaili is Shila, stone. Govardhan Shila we have, or Shaligram Shilas. Most of the deities in olden times in South India, also some parts of North India, they were made of stone. So Shaili, Daru Mai. Daru is what? In India, Daru can have multiple meanings. But Daru means wood. So that is famous as Jagannath Ji. Shaili, Daru Mai, Lohi. Lohi is metal. Loha metal. Lohi. Lepya, Lekhya, cha Saikati. Lepya is Lipna, clay. We see in the story of Parvati Devi, right? Obviously it was not Vishnu, but she was making a form out of clay. One of the pastime with Lord Shiva. When she wanted more. Anyways, so Lepya, Lekhya is Likhna, that is painting. You can also have a form of the Lord in form of painting. Lepya, Lekhya, cha Saikati. Saikati Sikna is like on sand, made of sand. We see when we go to Puri, we will see sometimes that Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadramai, they have like carved in form of a sand, using sand near the beach. So Saikati. Then Manomai, Manimai. Manomai is, we can all, through the mind. We can also form a deity through our mind. We see that story of Brahmana. It is mentioned in Nectar of Devotion, where for some reason the Brahmana was not able to offer physically to Lord Vishnu. And then what he did is he was Lord Krishna, and then he was meditating that he's offering kheer, sweet rice to Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna reciprocated. He touched the hand and it burnt. So, right, so that is Manomai. And then Manimai. Manimai is made of jewels. Manimai. Pratima Ashtavida. Yeah, Prabhu, can we go to the 27th, that 11, 27, 12? There is a very nice purport. Shilpa explains the importance of Archanam. Smrita. Yeah. Shaili Daru Mai Lohi, Lepya Lekhya cha Saikati, Manomai Manimai, Pratimashta Vidha Smrita. Yeah, we can go to translation and someone can volunteer to read the purport. The deity form of the Lord is said to appear in 8 varieties: stone, wood, metal, earth, paint, sand, mind, or jewels. Earth also means sand, mud. So in this case it was sand, it was earth, mud, earth and water specifically. So who wants to volunteer? Someone can volunteer to read the purport. Here Srila Prabhupada gives the importance of Archana. And this is the beauty of this entire ISKCON, Krishna consciousness. Everything is practiced. Whatever is needed for our devotional life. In some places you will see only Archanam is there. Something in here, all the 9 processes, somewhere or the other is practiced. In fact, I was searching something and I came across this website, BAP's website, and there also they were talking about Archanam and they quoted the same verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. So, yeah, it was very nice to see that. Okay, purport, someone can volunteer.
Srila Jiva Goswami explains that certain deity forms, such as those made of sand, are manifested for a brief time to fulfill a personal desire of the worshipper. Those, however, who desire to attain pure love of God should worship the permanent form of the deity, made, for instance, of marble, gold, or brass, and they should maintain continual worship. In Krishna consciousness, there is no scope for neglecting the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, there is no scope. Prabhu, can we go down? Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. So, this is the importance of Archanam. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj explains, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Pada Sevanam, Archanam Vandanam Dasyam, Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. So, the 9 process of devotional service is emphasized a lot, and Srila Prabhupada also emphasized. There is a beautiful temple in Udupi, Udupi Krishna, where Udupi Krishna, if you want to take darshan of Udupi Krishna, you have to see through 9 holes. It's called 9 windows. And it represents, it's also called Navgraha Kindi. Kindi means window. So it represents that if you want to see Krishna, you can see Krishna through the 9 processes of devotional service. So, and Archanam is one of them. So Narad Muni told Dhruva Maharaj that make a deity of earth and water, and then you should offer Uchitani. You should offer some suitable things to the Lord. Prabhu, we can go ahead with again Dhruva Maharaj pastime. In last verse is there, verse number 62 in the same chapter, 4.8.62, where again the Madhuvanam is mentioned. We'll just a little bit read about that. Ityuktas tam parikramya pranamya chan Riparbhaka. Ripa is king, Arbhaka is son of that king. Who is? Dhruva Maharaj. Yayav Madhuvanam Punyam. Punyam is a very, very auspicious place. Madhuvanam. He goes there. Haresh Charana Charchitam. Haresh is that place, Madhuvanam is that place where there is footprints. Charana Charchitam. There is a footprints of Lord Krishna. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that how can there be footprints of Lord Krishna? Because Krishna comes only in one day of Brahma, and Dhruva Maharaj happened in Satyuga. So it was supposed to, Draupadi is supposed to come. So then he only tells, he says that the footprints of that Krishna is from the previous day. But nobody messed it up because it's Krishna's footprints. So it is from the previous day. Like that Srila Vishwanath Thakur mentions. Okay, we'll go to the translation. When Dhruva Maharaj, the son of king, was thus advised by great sage Narada, he circumambulated Narada, his spiritual master, and offered him respectful obeisances. This one point which I just remembered when I was reading this section. He circumambulated Narada, his spiritual master, and offered him respectful obeisances. So when Narad Muni gave the instruction to Dhruva Maharaj that you go to, advised him, gave him the instructions, you go to Madhuvanam and practice devotional service in so and so way. He just didn't give him the instruction. He gave him the blessings and mercy so that he can execute those instructions. That's why that word Bhadram Te is very, very important. So when a spiritual master give directions, give instructions, he doesn't just give instructions. He gives his mercy as well. And that's why the disciples are able to fulfill the desires of spiritual master. We see that Srila Prabhupada always said that the reason I was able to do so much, it's because of the mercy of my spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. So then Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur told that you go to Western world and deliver the people over there. He also gave his mercy, his blessings, so that he can execute those instructions. And Srila Prabhupada same when Shyam Sundar Prabhu, Mukund Goswami Maharaj, and then one more devotee, I'm forgetting the name. Guru Das Prabhu. When all three were then going to London, Srila Prabhupada said, you go to London and you preach Krishna consciousness there. He also gave the blessings by which that can be executed. I mean, imagine Srila Prabhupada coming to Western world and delivering the people. We can still think it is possible because he is a great Vaishnava. But all the other 3 devotees, at least they had not manifested their purity that time. They were very new. But what they accomplished, it's unparalleled. Mukund Goswami Maharaj writes the book Miracles on 26 Second Avenue. It's a beautiful book. Long back I had read that book, and that explains that what all had happened in London and in New York, other parts of the world. So he gives also his mercy. Then he started for Madhuvan, which is always imprinted with the lotus footprints of Lord Krishna, which was from the previous day of Brahma, and which is therefore especially auspicious. This Madhuvan is very, very auspicious place. So there is a book called Vrajalila. It's written by His Grace Deenabandhu Prabhu. he writes over there the glories of Madhuvan. He says that Madhuvan is not auspicious just because of the pastimes that were done in Dwapar Yuga. In every Yuga, something or the other auspicious events have happened in Madhuvan. And that's why this place is so auspicious. Starting from Satya Yuga, obviously one of the pastime that we know is that we are reading is Dhruva Maharaj. There is another pastime in the case of Amrish Maharaj. So can we go to Canto 9, 4th chapter, verse number 30, 9.4.30. 9.4.30. There we will see that Amrish Maharaj was going to execute or going to perform Ekadashi Vrata in the month of Kartik. And that Ekadashi Vrata in month of Kartik, the place that he was planning to do was in Madhuvan. Vratante Kartike Masi Triratram Samuposhita Snata Kadachit Kalindyam Harim Madhuvaner Chayat. Can we go to the translation? In the month of Kartik, after observing that vow for 1 year, after observing a fast for 3 nights, and after bathing in the Yamuna, again Yamuna. It's so nice that it's not just Krishna Lila or Vraja Lila and then Yamuna, they both are, they are going together. It's also other pastimes, Amrish Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, where place of Yamuna, Vrindavan. So we understand that this place is eternally very auspicious. It is explained in Navavraja Mahima by His Holiness Shivaram Swami Maharaj that there are 5 kinds of holy dham. The first is Golok Vrindavan, which is in the spiritual world. The second kind of Vrindavan is Bhauma Vrindavan, which is near Delhi. That is a place where Krishna, Lord Krishna, performed his pastimes. The third kind of dham is Drishyaman Vrindavan. Drishyaman Vrindavan is the place where, same place, Vrindavan, but after Krishna left that place. So now it is covered. It is covered by Yoga Maya. It is, one devotee was mentioning that, what is the difference between Paschyata Desh, places like USA or any other place, and places like Vrindavan. So he explains that in Vrindavan, on the top, it is covered by Tamogun. But if you scratch, then you will see Sattvagun. And then he says, but in the places like other places, Paschyata Desh, it is covered with Sattvagun. But if you scratch, you will see Tamogun. Sattvagun is like cleanliness is there. This is all Sattvagun. But if you scratch, a lot of things are there. Tamogun. So the third is Drishyaman Vrindavan. Fourth is Ridhi Sthita Vrindavan. That is a Vrindavan in the heart of the Vaishnavas. Maharaj Yudhishthir tells to Vidura, when he meets Vidura, Bhavad Vidha Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Bhivo Tirthi Bhutani Tirthani Swantastena Gadabhrita. O Vidura, you are walking place of pilgrimage. And because Krishna is in your heart, wherever you walk, that place becomes a dham. I mean, such profound statement that wherever you walk, that place becomes a dham. So the first is Golok Vrindavan, second is Bhauma Vrindavan, third is Drishyaman Vrindavan, fourth is Ridhi Sthita Vrindavan, and fifth is Gupta Vrindavan. These are the places which devotees create a replica so that we can remember the Bhauma Vrindavan or the Golok Vrindavan. Rupa Goswami created he created Shamkund and Radhakund, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu created in Mayapur near Chaitanya Mat, Shamkund, Radhakund. So like that, Srila Prabhupada made New Vrindavan, and then His Holiness Radharani Swami Maharaj, similar place in Govardhan Eco Village. Right now, Vaishika Maharaj and some of the youths are near that place, Govardhan Eco Village. Then His Holiness Sachin Shivram Maharaj has made a new Vrajdham in ISKCON, Hungary. So like Gupta Vrindavan is a place where devotees create a replica of the real Vrindavan so that we can remember Krishna and his pastimes and the Dham. So yeah, that's the beauty of holy Dhams. So Maharaj Ambrish worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, in Madhuvan. So yeah, sorry, I forgot why I'm reading. I got digressed. So, in Satyuga, we see that Madhuvan, the devotees went to Madhuvan, Dhruva Maharaj went, and then also Ambrish Maharaj also went to Madhuvan, again to perform devotional service. Then we see during Treta Yuga, there's a pastime of Shatrughna, Lord Ramachandra's brother Shatrughna. Prabhu, can we go to 9th canto, 11th chapter, 9:11? Can you search for 13? Maybe 13th verse. Let's search for Madhuvan. Enter one more. Yeah, so this is the section. So there is a great demon. The reason I'm using great demon, not just because he was although he was born in a dynasty of demons, but he was a very pious king. His name was King Madhu, and that is one of the reason why the name was given as Madhuvan. One of the reason, and Lord Shiva was very pleased with this King Madhu, and he gave a benediction that one of my expansion of trident, Trishul, will be with you. But it will soon, after some time, it will come back to me. Whoever has this expansion of trident also, nobody can defeat such a personality. So obviously Madhu was very happy, but immediately he said that after some time it will come back because your son, Lavana Sur, will misuse that trident. And so then he will be killed. And he was killed by Shatrughna because Chaivana Muni and all other sages during the Treta Yuga, because Lavanasura was making so much havoc because he has the strength of the trident, they all went to Lord Ramachandra, and then Shatrughna was there. Shatrughna said that, "Main hu na, I'll do it, I'll kill." So he went and he killed Lavanasura, and then Shatrughna created a kingdom in Madhuvan. So like that, we can read the translation. Prabhu, can we go up? Just read. Yeah, Shatrughna and two sons named Subahu and Shrutasen. When Lord Bharata went to conquer all directions, he had to kill many millions of Gandharvas, who are generally pretenders. Taking all their wealth, he offered it to Lord Ramachandra. Shatrughna also killed a Rakshasa named Lavana. Lavana was the son of Madhu, King Madhu. So that's why, because he was a demon, he's also known as Lavanasur. Oh, yeah, it's mentioned, yeah, who was the son of Madhu Rakshasa. Thus he established in the great forest known as Madhuvan, the town known as Mathura. So, as I said, that Madhuvan and Mathura, they are very nearby, 5 kilometers apart. So, like this. So, during the Treta Yuga, and obviously Dwapar Yuga, we know, Madhuvan is famous for Madhu, which is honey, and Lord Krishna and Lord Balram used to visit that places to taste honey. Yeah, and it is one of the pastimes mentioned is once Balram was glorifying Krishna and his pastime so much in that place that he got so absorbed in Krishna that he assumed the form of Krishna, which is the blackish form. And that blackish form of Balramji is still worshipped in the place of Madhuvan. So that is Dwapar Yuga, and obviously in Kali Yuga we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who went to various places in Vrindavan, one of them being in Madhuvan. It is all mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And also took bath in various ghats. So like this place, Madhuvan, is a very, very auspicious place. So I just wanted to discuss a little bit about the entire the glories of Madhuvan, Vrindavan, Yamuna. I'll pause here now. If anyone has any reflections, as Vaishya Prabhu says, that if someone outside, if you go outside and someone asks you, what were you doing from last 1.5 hours? So what will you say? So something, if you reflect back, personally I've seen whatever reflections come, we sort of remember that particular reflection more. So if anything they want to share, and after that we will go to the flashback, how it all started, Dhruva Maharaj pastime. So I'll just pause here if anyone wants to share anything.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for such a wonderful class and so many, I would say, packed with so many wonderful points. A couple of things that you shared is Dhruva Maharaj was worshipping, and a nice point you shared is he had a deity that he was offering and actually worshipping, and then you mentioned the different kinds of deity form that we can have. And then you mentioned the glories of Madhuvana itself. So that was really very enlightening point. So one thing I was just wondering that in this place Madhuban, which especially Lord Krishna's footprints is there, and Krishna is present always in Vrindavan. So there actually one can achieve the highest thing in life. You can basically get Krishna Prem, nothing more than that. And of course, Dhruva Maharaj also, after seeing the Lord, he was aspiring for that Prem, and he said, oh my God, I just, So I have two questions here, and he repented that why did I aspire for something else. So my question is, what was the influence of that place on Dhruva Maharaj? Especially, if you go to a holy place, as you mentioned, that holy dham has an influence on a person, it's like digging the well, you said. That was another nice analogy. So what was exactly the influence of that place on Dhruva Maharaj? Did it help in navigating towards the pure devotion? That was one. And second thing is, what is it about Dhruva Maharaj that attracted Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so much? Because he loved to hear, especially these two stories, Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj, hundreds of times repeatedly. But when we read, we may not find it that interesting. But what it is about, because of course he had a very intense devotion, that just 6 months, you can't imagine, people are, even 6 lifetimes they won't get, even 600 lifetimes they won't get, because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was giving to Mukunda in his Ashtaprarya Lila, he said, millions of lifetimes, after 1 million lifetime you'll get to see me. And he was jumping. So even that is rare. So what is it that, 6 months that he got Krishna?
Yeah, we are struggling 40, 50, 60 years. And it's like a crash course, 6 months. So, obviously you, Devras Prabhu, and you can add more. I'll just speak from what I understand. So, you had two questions. One was, what was the effect of the place on Dhruva Maharaj? I can speak for myself, at least. Whenever we go to such dham, dham in general has a lot of sattva gun. And in order to practice devotional service, spirituality, you need to be in a surrounding where there is sattva gun, or sattva is very high. Imagine if we are going to in a pub and we are trying to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. It will not be easy when people are dancing or doing all sorts of things, right? So where there is a lot of ignorance, it will be very, very hard. And that's why it's mentioned when we read the 42nd verse, Narad Muni was a very great Vaishnava. For him it was easy to go to a hellish planets also and do something. But Dhruva Maharaj was just starting. He was more like a Sakama Bhakta who was looking for something in return. So he was looking for a place where there is Sattva Gun is very high. And I've also seen that whenever you go to such places, it helps us to have some strength to practice Krishna consciousness. Determination comes. You see, when we are in Dham, it's easy for us to get up early in the morning. It's not like because office is not there, that's why. It's just that Dham has its influence. It gives us strength. We are able to get up early in the morning. We are able to do our rounds. We are able to do our rounds early. We are able to do our rounds more also. It gives so much strength. We see other devotees there doing japa. So it gives Sattva Gun is there. There is strength, and obviously that we discussed. There is mercy, because that place has its effect. We also get the mercy from the Lord and from the devotees, because devotees have stayed there, and because they have stayed there, they are continuously showering their mercy to each and every one of them. And that's why we see that sometimes we have seen that devotees, even from when devotees come to Vrindavan, they try to go to other Vaishnavas' house also and they meet them. Why? Because again, they have stayed there for such a long time, they will shower their mercy. So from my understanding, Sattva, strength, you get determination, and you get mercy of the Lord and the devotees. So that is one part. And to your second question, which I forgot, what was that? Yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. See, when an elderly will tell you something, do this, it's very hard. But when a kid comes and says, Dadaji, please chant Hare Krishna, then the grandfather will say, oh, for you I will chant. Because when kids speak, we have seen in book distribution also, lot of times we take Kishori just as we call it bait. I mean, it's not a right term, but she's just standing there and we ask her in front of others, what is your favorite story? She'll say Dhruva. Then we ask her, how does he meditates? Then she'll put one leg on the other leg and she will do like this. And then we will say, what mantra he speaks? Then she will say Hare Krishna, which is not the right mantra. But still, people who see her, they become happy, they take books and they go away. No need to preach. I mean, it was not needed only. So kids, when they speak, it helps, it gives more seriousness to practice Krishna consciousness. Ki yaar, 5 saal ka ladka mere ko bol raha hai, a 5-year-old boy is telling me. So obviously that is at my level, I can say. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, because Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj, he's showing from the mode of the devotee that these are 5-year-old and still they have so much knowledge. Because sometimes in Kali Yuga we think that once we hit a certain stage, then we should practice Krishna consciousness. But Prahlad Maharaj says, Kaumaram, at the age of 5, we should start our Krishna conscious life. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has taken the form of a devotee, he is teaching by example that by these two pastimes, this again I'm just thinking that by these two examples, they are basically explaining that we should take the path of Krishna consciousness very, very seriously. And the beauty of this also was that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't just read once or twice. He used to sit with other Vaishnavas, Gadadhar Pandit, and all the Vaishnavas, and read it again and again, again and again. So much that Gadadhar Pandit used his book, Bhagavatam book, used to completely get smudged with tears. And Dhruva Maharaj's story, tears, I mean, one might, but so much devotion was there that in every line they were able to see. So it's amazing. But it's teaching us that how we should approach Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a very rare. Any sampradaya also, they will also accept Srimad Bhagavatam as one of the authority, if not the authority. But they take it as an authority. And obviously ISKCON for us it is. So, yeah. But if Devpras Prabhu wants to add anything, or Shamru Prabhu. Shamru Prabhu, you can keep it.
Well, this is pure speculation. I don't know if it's true, but I imagine one reason Lord Chaitanya may have been attracted to Dhruva Maharaj is because he displays determination. That he's a young boy. His task is impossible, but he said, "I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just going to do it." He had that very single-minded determination, like the sparrow swallowing the ocean. It's not possible. But no, I'm going to see Krishna. I have to see Krishna. And we all have to have that determination. If we don't have that determination, we'll get distracted. We won't see Krishna. Who knows where we'll end up. So at some point we have to say, the only thing that's important is Krishna. Nothing else matters. I just have to see Krishna. And because Dhruva exemplified that, he's very attractive. So I don't know, I haven't read that that's why Lord Chaitanya likes him, but I know for me, he's inspiring because, I wish I had 1/10 of that much determination. It's very attractive. And thank you for wonderful, wonderful class. I have a comment and a question.
Comment, I'll take.
It was nice to hear. I didn't sort of realize or understand that Madhuvana, that different auspicious pastimes took place in different yugas. So it embeds it with deeper and deeper potency. It's not just one thing happened, but many things happened. So that was nice for me to hear it understand. And then also of the 12 forests, I feel bad to ask this question, but I have to ask. Are some of the forests like Madhuvana, there's 12 forests, and they're all very sacred. Are some of them more sacred or more potent than others, or are they all equal? Or are there certain ones that the devotees are drawn to more so than others?
Yeah. Thank you for that question. Actually, when I was talking about Madhuvana, I was thinking the same. But my understanding is, lot of times, there are places where it is mentioned that in entire Mathura Mandal, Madhuvana is the most auspicious. Then some place it will mention that in the entire Mathura Mandal, Vrindavan is the most auspicious. So it's very hard to say when the devotee or acharya is explaining a particular forest, then the entire focus comes on that forest. But obviously, we take, because we are Rupanugas, we take the words of Rupa Goswami directly. And Rupa Goswami mentions that in Nectar of Instruction, I think it is 10th or 11th verse, then Vrindavan is the most auspicious, and obviously after that, Radha Kund. But the focus is on Vrindavan. So that way we take that as a summum bonum. And all other vanas are also equally important because Krishna has played his pastime. And whenever Krishna has played his pastime, that becomes very auspicious. So also I wanted to just add add one point to your comment about determination. Actually, in Madhurya Kandamini it is mentioned that one of the main problem why we cannot practice Krishna consciousness is because of weakness of heart. That is the main problem. And that weakness of heart is because of less determination. The determination is not there. So to your point that Dhruva Maharaja actually personifies determination. And that's why, as you mentioned, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu might be more interested in hearing about those pastimes. Thank you, Prabhu. So we'll take last one more and then we'll continue with our session.
Hare Krishna. I also think Dhruva Maharaja's story is like unique in terms of it draws in a family life, like most people on earth would be like grihasthas, and they have gone through that stages of seeing kids and grown-ups, and then because the cleanliness of mental state of the kids, it's easy to think them as like more purest form of the human form, or the purest stage of the human form. And then any of the emotions, they are all the true and pure emotions. So it's easy to, like, because it's clean, anything that, like when you see God in a clean pool versus a dirty pool, it's better to see there. So we try to see in the clean place, and then that's how, like the Chetu Darpana Marjana, we want to see on a clean surface and not on something like that. So because as we can grow up from the kid to the grown-ups, then we add different layers, which is like we don't see in the grown-ups more as in kids. And then plus the family emotions, the story nicely binds like mother, son, and then the craving for the son to the father. And then finally their aspiration is like I want my father, then Narada Muni shows you have a divine, far greater father that exists eternally.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, this is what, because we are all at similar situation, thank you, Prabhu, that we are looking for material things. But Dhruva Maharaj is explaining that through his story, that's okay. Akama sarva kamo moksha kamo dharidi tivrena bhakti yogena yajita purusham praram. That even if you have material things, you are aspiring for that, but take shelter of Krishna. There is a verse in Chaitanya Chaitamrita, Hari Bhakti Sudodaya, it comes from. Prabhu, can we go to, I don't remember the verse. It is, I think it is 2242 Madhya Lila. CC Madhya Lila 2242. Yeah. Yeah, 2242 Madhya Lila. Yeah, you can repeat after me. That's a very sweet verse. This is the prayer by Dhruva Maharaj after he got darshan of Krishna. Sthana bilashi tapasi stitoham Tvam praptavan deva munindra guhyam Kacham vichinvan api devya ratnam Swamin kritartosmi varam nayache. Yeah, so here he says, Kachan vichinvan api divya ratnam. I was looking for broken pieces of glass. Material things, even if we get, it actually, at the end, it hurts like broken pieces of glass. Broken pieces of glass also hurts. So that's the nature of the material world. And why that nature is there? So that the soul understands that sense that there is something higher. Otherwise, if we get lot of lavish things in prison house, we will think, ye sasural acha hai, yahan hi reh jate. We'll stay here. This place is nice. But if we see problems in prison house, then we want to come out of it. So when he was being blessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dhruva Maharaj said, "Oh my Lord, because I was seeking an opulent material position, I was performing severe types of penance and austerity. Now I have gotten you, who are very difficult for the great demigods, saintly persons and kings to attain. I was searching after a piece of glass, but instead I have found a most valuable jewel. Therefore I am so satisfied that I do not wish to ask any benediction from you." So same thing, akama sarva kamava. He had material desires, but he approached Krishna with that material desire also. But because he performed devotional service and he got darshan of the Lord, his heart was purified. So that's why also this shows, because we are all on the similar situation, at least I can say for myself. Prabhu, we can go to the purport. It just explains that this verse is, what is the origin of this verse. This verse is from Hari Bhakti Sudodaya 7.28. Okay, we can now go to we have 20 minutes. We can go to 4th canto, 8th chapter, verse number 7. So from here, the entire pastime of Dhruva Maharaj starts. We don't have so much time. We will try to do 4 or 5 verses, whatever we can, and we will see. So we can read the verse. Priya Vrattotanat Padau Shatarupa Pate Sutau Vasudevasya Kalaya Rakshayam Jagatastitau. So here basically he is saying that Priyavrata Anupadau. He is saying that Swayambhava Manu had 2 sons. Priyavrata, which is mentioned, Priyavrata's entire story is mentioned in the next canto, and Uttanapad, which is mentioned in this canto. And Swayambhava Manu was the son of Brahmaji. And Swayambhava Manu had 2 boys and 3 girls. Right? Priyavrata and Uttanapad, 2 boys and 3 girls. Akuti Prasuti Devahuti. Easy to remember. Akuti Prasuti Devahuti. Akuti married Rishi Ruchi. And that was, I think, mentioned in the 3rd canto. Then Prasuti married Daksha, Maharaj Daksha, from whom 16 daughters came. One of the daughter was Sati. That is mentioned just before this pastime. Entire Daksha Yagya is there. And then Devahuti married Kardama Muni, from whom Kapila came. So like that, and Swayambhuva Manu is one of the plenary expansion of Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Obviously, becoming a progenitor of the entire world, you have to have some potency, right? So yeah, we'll go to the next verse. So now from here, the focus is from the oversight of entire Swayambhuva Manu. Now the focus is on Uttanapada. Jai Uttanapadasya Suniti Suruchis Tatha Tayo. So it's mentioned. Jaya means wife. Jaya, plural form, 2 wives or many wives. Uttanapada had 2 wives, Suniti and Suruchi. Suniti and Suruchi. Suruchi Preyasi Patyur. So that Pati, Uttanapad, who was more dear? Suruchi, right? So we say Tulasi Krishna Preyasi. So that is transcendental love. That Tulsi is dear to Krishna. But this is more like material lust. And why? Because she was younger to Suniti. Netara, na itara, right? Not the one whose mother was Dhruva, son, Suto Dhruva. Right? Netara yat Suto Dhruva. King Uttanapad had 2 queens named Suniti and Suruchi. Suruchi was more dear to the king. Suniti, who had a son named Dhruva, was not his favorite. We can read the purport. Srila Prabhupada explains that, just gives a brief introduction about this. Who wants to volunteer? Someone can.
The great sage Maitreya wanted to describe the pious activities of the kings. Priyavrata was the first son of Swayambhuva Manu, and Uttanapada was the second. But the great sage Maitreya immediately began to speak of Dhruva Maharaj, the son of Uttanapada, because Maitreya was very eager to describe pious activities. The incidents in the life of Dhruva Maharaj are very attractive for devotees. From his pious actions, one can learn how one can detach himself from material possessions, and how one can enhance one's devotional service by severe austerities and penances. By hearing the activities of pious Dhruva, one can enhance one's faith in God and can directly connect with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And thus, one can very soon be elevated to the transcendental platform of devotional service. The example of Dhruva Maharaja's austerities can immediately generate a feeling of devotional service in the hearts of the hearers.
Right? So here it's, I was just remembering this, the question that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Another thing is, he was a sannyasi, another way to look. And as a sannyasi, one has to avoid the material positions. And this pastime shows that how Dhruva Maharaj was able to accomplish that. Yeah, we can go to the next verse. Yeah, I can read from here. Ekada Suruche Putram. So Ekada, once upon a time, right? Ekada Suruche. So once upon a time. You see, whatever we hear, right, in storybooks, once upon a time, it all comes from Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Ekada Suruche Putram. Who is the Suruche Putram? Uttama, right? Suruchi ka putra. Ankam, on the lap. Aropya, placed. Alalian, patting. He was just Uttanapad was just playing with on the lap with Uttama, right? Ankam aropya lalayan uttamam narurukshantam. So when Dhruva saw that Uttama is trying to play with Uttanapad, he also felt ek se bale do. So he thought, I will also come on the lap and I will also play with my father, right? Dhruvam Raja Benandata. Dhruva also wanted to then play, right? He was also trying that. Translation. Once upon a time, King Uttanapad was patting the son of Suruchi, Uttama placing him on his lap. Dhruva Maharaj was also trying to get on the king's lap, right? Ankam. But the king did not very much welcome him, right? He did not very much welcome him. Why? Because of, again, he was the king. He can decide what needs to be done. But because he got so attached, enamored by the beauty of Suruchi, got so attached to Suruchi, that the strength of speaking against her desire was lost. He was not able to do that. Tatha chikir shamanam tam sapatnya tanayas dhruvam. Suruchi shunvato ragya sheshyam ahati garvita. And because of the attachment that Uttanapad had, right, for Suruchi. Suruchi had lot of pride. Lot of pride was there, right? Garvita, she had lot of pride. We can go to the translation. While the child, Dhruva Maharaj, was trying to get on the lap of his father, Suruchi, his stepmother, Sapatnya, stepmother, became very envious of the child, and with great pride she began to speak so as to be heard by the king himself. Right? So Radha Govind, His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj explains that if Suruchi was not there present, maybe Uttanapad would have still taken and played. But because Suruchi was there, he was even more scared to not do it. And that is the problem with unbalanced attachment. Here we see that unbalanced attachment breeds undue advantage, and that leads to unavoidable annihilation. Right? What happened here? There was unbalanced attachment. Ideally, he should be attached, or he should be same to both Suniti and Suruchi. But there was an unbalanced. It was not balanced. There was unbalanced attachment towards Suruchi. And that led to having undue advantage by Suruchi. And that led to complete annihilation, unavoidable. That annihilation which cannot be avoided. And we see that Uttama got burnt in forest fire. And Uttama and Suruchi, we see that in the future, Suruchi could not see the separation of her child, and she also entered the forest fire. Right? So unbalanced attachment breeds undue advantage, and that leads to unavoidable annihilation. And we see in the history, again, the start is when there is unbalanced attachment. We see the story of Dhruva Maharaja. He had many queens, but there were three prominent queens: Kaushalya, Sumitra, and Kaikeyi. And Kaikeyi was the younger one. He was more attached to Kaikeyi. And that unbalanced attachment, that became undue advantage. Then Kaikeyi asked for something in return. Right? And then obviously what he asked for, exile of Lord Ramachandra. And what was the annihilation? What was the destructive part in that? Dasharatha couldn't take it. Right? And Dasharatha lost his life. For a wife, losing her husband. Because if you see, during those times at least, now I don't know, but during those times you spend maximum time with husband and wife. Husband spends maximum time with wife, and wife spends maximum time with husband in terms of the duration of their life. Because early marriage and maximum time you spend with your spouse. So for the queens, they had maximum time with the king, and that personality had left because he couldn't tolerate the separation from his son, which is Lord Ramachandra. Right? And we see that in Mahabharata also. Right? Dasharatha in Ramayana, he could have said that, I gave that vow, but I don't want to follow that vow. But weakness of heart was also there. How can I say no to her? And then we see in Mahabharata also, right? In Mahabharata, both were blind. Dhritarashtra was blind because of lust. Lust in terms of his attachment, strong attachment for Kauravas. Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva. The first verse of Bhagavad Gita starts off with the mentality of Dhritarashtra. That my sons and the sons of Pandu, both are separate. But when Pandu left, that time Dhritarashtra thought in the mind that I will take care of the Pandavas, they are my children now. But as things kept progressing, that my children slowly became Pandu's children. And then at the time of war it was Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva. So that was unbalanced attachment towards the Kauravas. And there was undue advantage from Duryodhana. One devotee said in one of the class that it was a point where Duryodhana said that if you don't listen to me, I will commit suicide. And Vidura said, very good, do it. And Vidura said that to Dhritarashtra, if this guy leaves the world, your entire kingdom will be saved. Better let him die. But because Dhritarashtra was so attached to Duryodhan, he said, no, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, it's okay. And there was a complete annihilation of the entire Kuru dynasty. Why? Because it started with unbalanced attachment. And we see that great leaders are not biased. They give their love, their attention to everyone equally. Srila Prabhupada we see, right? So many great disciples were there. Obviously, based on time, service, he might be able to give some more time because of the service. But his love, no disciple who has not spent time will say, oh, Srila Prabhupada ignored me. No, they will never say this. Why? Because they all knew that Srila Prabhupada loved each one of them disciple equally. So we see that contrast, complete contrast between leaders like not so-called like this, Uttanapad and all, and then we see Srila Prabhupada. Great Vaishnavas, they treat every person whom they are taking them to Krishna consciousness as equally, as a representative of the Lord. So we see mood of Srila Prabhupada here. Yeah. Okay, we'll go to the next verse. न वत्स नृपतेर्धिष्ण्यं भवान ओ आरोढ़ुम अर्हति न गृहीतो मया यत्वम कुक्षाव अपि नृपात्मजः कुक्षाव. You have not taken birth from my womb. Right? Kukshav. Coke. Right? Coke. That is womb. So, we can go to the translation. Queen Suruchi told Dhruva Maharaj, my dear child, you do not deserve to sit on the throne or on the lap of king. Surely you are also the son of king, but because you did not take your birth from my womb, you are not qualified to sit on your father's lap. That's pride. She was completely blinded by pride. So we see that here. Someone wants to read the purport? Just quickly read. Yes, Prabhu, please go ahead.
Queen Surichi was very proudly informed Dhruva Maharaj that to be the king's son was not the qualification for sitting on the lap or throne of the king. Rather, this privilege was dependent on one's having taken birth from her womb. In other words, she indirectly informed Dhruva Maharaj that although he happened to be born of the king, he was considered an illegitimate son because of his birth from the womb of the other queen.
Right? So more than the lap on the throne, it is more important that you should take birth from my womb. Right? So again, strong duality is showcased here by Suruchi. Right? Duality is that I am this body and not spirit soul. Right? In the next, we'll go to the next verse. Balosi, he's saying you are just a child. You will not understand this nitty-gritty. He's saying Balosi batan atmanam, natmana atmanam. You have not taken birth from my, na atmanam, from my womb. Anya stri, from some other stri. Anya stri garbha sambritam, from some other stri you have taken. Nunam veda bhavan yasya, durlabhe arthe manoratha. You are trying to fulfill your desire, but this is durlabh. It's not easy to achieve. Right? For us, durlabha manushya janma. For them, durlabha getting birth from the womb of Suruchi. So, see, based on your perception, you have different definition of durlabh. What durlabh fits for you. So, now we can go to the translation. My dear child, you are unaware that you were born not of my womb, but of another woman. Obviously, Dhruva Maharaj doesn't know all that details, right? Therefore, you should know that your attempt is doomed to failure. You are trying to fulfill a desire which is impossible to fulfill. Right? We'll go to the next verse and we'll stop. I think it's 9:25, so we'll end there. Tapasa Radhya. So now this is very important. So she told that you're not taken birth from my womb, but now she's giving the solution. But the solution that she's giving has some sarcasm in it. We'll see. So this is the only good thing of all the things that Suruchi spoke. This was the only good thing that came out of that entire harshness. Tapasa aradhya purusham. Aradhya, you should do some austerities. Tapasa. Aradhya purusham. Purusham, there is only one Purusha, who is Lord Vishnu. We are all Prakriti. Tapasa aradhya purusham tasyeva nugrahena me anugraha, you will get his mercy. If you do austerities unto Lord Vishnu, you will get his mercy, you will get his blessings. Garbhe tvam sadhay atmanam. Then garbhe, you will take birth from, by his mercy, you will be able to then take birth from my womb. Yaddichasi ripasanam. Then you can take the throne. We can go to the translation. We'll discuss this a little bit. If you at all desire to rise to the throne of the king, Ripa, right? Last line that said. Then you have to undergo severe austerities, tapasa. First of all, you must satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tapasa, Aradhya Purusham. So satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Narayan. And then when you are favored by him, because of such worship, you shall have to take your next birth from my womb. So here we see that, imagine you have pleased someone, and that person, when that person is saying that, ask for something. I am very pleased with you, ask for something. Now you will ask something that you want, and based on the other person's capacity. So according to Suruchi, the highest capacity of Lord Vishnu is to give birth from the womb of Suruchi. Because one might think that when I got Lord Vishnu only, then I will ask for what I want, which is the throne. That's what Suruchi was thinking, the throne. He's coming on the lap because he wants to be on the throne. So I will ask directly that only. But according to Suruchi, even Lord Vishnu cannot give. That is the audacity. When pride comes, it blinds you. According to Suruchi, even that Lord Vishnu cannot give you the throne. What Lord Vishnu can give you by his mercy, maximum, is birth from his womb, her womb. Right? So we see that nature of pride. It completely blinds you. And then, since we have only 2 minutes remaining, we'll stop here. And then we see Dhruva Maharaj become extremely angry. His eyes were red hot. He was shaking because how can she say like this? And she said okay, but Papa, basically Uttanapa didn't say anything. At least he could have stopped. And then he goes to Mother Suniti. And Suniti also, when she heard initial stage, she also shows the same symptoms. She gets very upset that how can she speaks like this? How can Uttanapa not say anything? But then she calms her down. And first thing, this again good leader, right? Whatever is going in your mind. But when you're talking to someone junior, when she spoke to Dhruva Maharaj, she said, don't have any ill against Suruchi. And whatever she said, just perform that. Basically go to Vana and perform devotional service unto Lord Vishnu. And so this is the beauty of a great Vaishnava. They are able to separate swan. They are like swans who can separate milk from water. So whatever harshness that Suruchi had portrayed, out of that the milk, which was take shelter of Vishnu, that Suniti took and she gave it to Dhruva Maharaj. So, and then Dhruva Maharaj goes to the Vana, and there Lord Vishnu, seeing some devotee who wants to practice Krishna consciousness, he sends his spiritual master. He spends his representative in the form of spiritual master Narad Muni. Narad Muni tests Dhruva Maharaj by saying that, Arey, you are just a child, go back. But Dhruva Maharaj said, no, if you are doing time, I don't have time for all this. If you are going to tell how I can achieve Krishna, then tell. Then he understands that this is a pakka guy. He wants to really practice. Then he gives the entire steps what he should do. And one of the things he said is, you go to Madhuvan and make a deity of Krishna and worship and perform various austerities. So from this we can understand the determination of Dhruva Maharaj. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much for patiently listening. It's a holiday time. You could have traveled anywhere. And many devotees are even traveling for book distribution. But you all came and attended the class. Very grateful. Tomorrow we will have a class by His Grace Dev Prast Prabhu. So Sunday feast. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you.
Thank you, Achyuta Chaitanya Prabhu, for your class on Dhruva Maharaja's determination. Let's give him a big round of applause. Now, shortly from now, we will have Prashad. It looks like they are still making the offering. It may take 15 minutes more. Prabhu, you have some, if you want to continue, you can continue for some more time.
Sure, we can take some reflections.
Okay.
I have a loaded question. So Dhruva Maharaj said, I was looking for broken glass and I found the greatest jewel. And then right after that, I think his statement was, I don't desire anything. Whatever I wanted, I no longer want. I've now found it. And yet still, he was given the benediction and he had to rule for 36,000, I forget. That he was still given the benediction. And so, how do we understand that?
Yeah, that's the nature of Kshatriya. Kshatriya have to, first of all, thank you, Prabhu, for the question. So, because he was, there are two things. Once a devotee told on this that Krishna gave the benediction because otherwise people in the future will say that, Krishna made a fool out of him, gave him darshan and made him forget what he really came for. So Krishna said, no, I'll give you what you asked for, but I will give you the intelligence, proper intelligence, by which you know how to utilize what resources I am giving you. That is one thing. And second thing is, Dhruva Maharaj was a Kshatriya. As a Kshatriya, his duty is to take care of citizens. So if that is not given, then some other adharmi will be there to take care of, who will not be able to take care of citizens. Same reason Arjuna situation also. Arjuna said, I want to go to the forest and I can just do my things. I think I'm okay. I don't want to get into all this fight. What will I do after that, getting that 5 age also? And then Krishna said, it's not about you. If Duryodhana continue to rule the kingdom, it will only create more and more adharma. And then Varna Sankara, all these things will happen if you don't rule the kingdom. So, if someone is a good leader, then he should be leading it. If you see, I've seen that many devotees who become leaders in ISKCON, they always say that when the post was given to me, I never wanted to take it. But the devotees nearby, the Vaishnavas nearby, they say, you please take it. Because that person has the capacity. If you don't take, then someone else will take, who might not be able to do the same task properly. So Dhruva Maharaj, because he was now he is a great Vaishnava also, now because he also coming from the dynasty of Uttanama Swayambhu Manu, so he is Raja Rishi in one sense. Raja plus enlightened Raja, Raja Rishi, Raja plus Rishi. So he becomes a fit candidate to become the king of that kingdom and rule.
So he was very similar, I guess. I think one of the things Krishna said to Arjuna, look, you're a warrior, you're going to fight. You go to the forest, you'll protect the rishis, you'll fight somebody, you're going to fight. That's your nature.
Yeah.
So I guess with Dhruva, same thing. You're a leader.
Yeah.
You're going to lead. So
and, sorry, go ahead. And same nature. I always think of this example. A person who's a Vaishya, if he sees any building, first thing he'll think is, how much that building cost? What if I buy that building? So that's just the nature of a vanik, of a businessman. Whatever they see how I can make profit out of it. So same thing for Dhruva Maharaj. In fact, Prahlad Maharaj, at 5 age, he is talking about spirituality and all that, but he is the one who is then ruling the kingdom. And from him, Bali Maharaj and others comes. So again, for the same thing, because he is supposed to, even Prahlad Maharaj says that I don't want all this, please. But then Narsimhadev says that, Lord Narsimhadev, that please take it, because you are a great Vaishnava, you will be able to rule properly with right mood. So
thank you.
One thing that I was, sorry, go ahead, Prabhu, go ahead. No, please.
We go back on
verse number 11 and 12, the Sanskrit, I'm wondering if it has the specific terms, my dear child, because apparently Suruchi, when she's saying all these harsh words, they're starting with my dear child. So I'm wondering,
In which verse? The Balosi?
11th and 12th, I think, previous two verses. I'm wondering if the Sanskrit has my dear child in it. And I have a question.
Yeah. I mean, because he's a young child, obviously you will show that endurance, that you will show that love. But that statement is loaded in terms of that at the surface it shows sweetness, but below it there is a lot of sarcasm.
Yeah.
Because basically in this verse, when he says tapsa radhya purusham, she is basically saying you die now. How will you take birth from my womb? For that you have to die first. So telling a child, 5-year-old child, you die first, that is, I think that's so harsh, right? So this my dear child is more like at a superficial level, that just sweetness is shown, but underneath it's all those things is filled with harshness. So, yeah. One thing I was thinking from the point of Swan, I was hearing one class by His Holiness Dhruva Maharaja while I was driving to LA, and this class was going on Shravanam. So I was mentioning about how Suniti, she, whatever Suruchi spoke, out of that she took the essence, not essence, the part which will help Dhruva in his spiritual life, which was take shelter of Lord Vishnu. And this is the nature of swan. Paramahamsas. These are the Paramahamsas. Basically, swans separates milk from the water. So, His Holiness Bhakti-Rasamrit Maharaj was mentioning that there are 4 kinds of hearers. 4 kinds of Shravanam is there. And first, and the examples are given of, analogies are given of 4 animals. Some of you would have heard this before. First, the example that is given is of Chataka bird. Chataka bird, when he drinks water, it will never drink water from a well or from ground. Directly that is coming from the rain, directly rainwater. So the analogy is given is, similarly, devotees, they always hear from the right source. Srila Prabhupada says that sometimes there are Bhagavatam classes which you might feel, oh, this is so nice, but it would be dunk by a snake, bitten by a snake. It's like a milk which is bitten by a snake. It is poisonous, right? Basically, what is that poison? Maybe some Mayavad conception might be there in that. So, but a Chataka bird directly takes from the right source, which is rainwater. And similarly, a good hearer also takes directly from the right source. So, first example that is given is of Chataka bird. The second example that is given is of a parrot. Whatever parrot hears, he speaks as it is. There is no change. So, and similarly, Srila Prabhupada taught us that whatever you hear from previous acharyas, we have to speak as it is. We can obviously have our own realization, but it should be, the siddhanta should be based on the previous acharyas. Srila Prabhupada writes in the introduction, in the preface of Bhagavad Gita, he writes that the only credit that I can take from Bhagavad Gita, from this book that I have written, Bhagavad Gita as it is that the only credit that I can take is I have not added or subtracted anything from what I have heard from previous acharyas. And that is very different from today's world. If you need a PhD, you have to come up with something new. Srila Prabhupada is saying that this is my credit to this book, that I have not added or subtracted anything new. And that's the nature of parrot. His Holiness Bhakti-Rasamrit actually tells a story regarding this. Once he was in Australia, and he was staying in a family's house who had a parrot in a cage. And whenever someone comes to their house, parrot used to say Hare Krishna, like that. So Bhakti-Rasamrit Maharaj, because obviously people say whoever comes to, they all speak about Hare Krishna, so the parrot also started speaking Hare Krishna. So Bhakti-Rasamrit Maharaj then said to that family that you please release this parrot, because it's not good to
engage animals. That's what he said. You please release this parrot and let this parrot spread Krishna consciousness among other parrots. And then that family released that parrot. So first is Chataka bird. Second is parrot. Parrot basically, whoever speaks whatever he has heard. Third is swan. We read just now. Swan is basically a devotee who takes the essence from whatever he has heard, the essence or the thing that is helpful for Krishna consciousness. And fourth example of a good hearer, the analogy is given is that of fish. Fish is always, the eyes are open. Even if she's swimming, I mean, obviously she's doing swimming only, but always the eyes are open. Basically, it shows attention. So Maharaj was saying that similarly, a devotee should always be attentive, whatever they are hearing. Whatever they are hearing. This is just a small digression. When last week when I was traveling, I was and we were just going to an aquarium, and we had like 4 or 5 kids were there. They were seeing the aquarium and various fishes and all. They were getting all awe, and they were like full of awe that so many different kinds of fish, amoeba and all, like this small, and some were actually creating. They were like breeding amoeba and all that. All sorts of things were happening in aquarium. And then I immediately told them, if we don't chant Hare Krishna, we might be in one of that bottles next life. So we have to be serious about Krishna life. So okay, so we will. So like this, there are 4 kinds of hearers. Okay, wherever we were, we can go to the next verse. Which verse we were in? Let's see. Tapsaradhya we did. So we were in 14th verse. 4:8:14. Yeah. So as I mentioned, Maitreya Rishi is speaking this to Vidura in Haridwar. So now Maitreya Uvacha. Matu sapatnya sadurukti vidha. Durukti is the harsh words that was spoken by Suruchi. Shwasan was breathing heavily. Who? Dhruva Maharaj, hearing all this, too much to handle. Rusha danda hato yathahi. Hitva mishantam pitaram sanatvacham. Jagam matu prarudan shakasam. Prarudan, he started crying. Right? What do you expect from kids when someone's speaking like this, right? So he started crying. Prarudan. Someone can read the translation.
The sage Maitreya continued, "My dear Vidura, as a snake, when struck by a stick, breathes very heavily. Dhruva Maharaj, having been struck by strong words of his stepmother, began to breathe very heavily because of great anger. When he saw that his father was silent and did not protest, he immediately left the place and went to his mother."
Right? So struck by a stick. I mean, Rusha Danda. A snake is hit by a stick. He will get so angry. Immediately he'll show his fang. F-A-N-G. So people have different meanings of fang in Bay Area. So, but immediately Dhruva Maharaj, he left for his mother, took shelter of mother. Right? So, but the weird part is he took shelter of mother so that mother can give santvana or can give solace. But mother also started crying, right? Because it was so harsh that mother also couldn't tolerate. If we can see that if mother cannot tolerate the words that she heard indirectly, so what to speak of the child who heard the things directly, right? It was too much to handle for a 5-year-old Dhruva. Too much to handle. We cannot understand their mental state for such a kid. We can go to the next verse. Prabhu, let me know whenever I have to, stop. Yeah. Tam nishwasantam sphurita daroshtam suni tirutsanga udhu ya balam nishamya tatpaura mukhan nitantam sa vivyate yad gaditam sapatnya. So some people who heard all this, they went and told Mother Suniti that all this happened, right? We can go to the translation. When Dhruva Maharaj reached his mother, his lips were trembling in anger. Here also we see the word shwasan. Ni shwasan, right? So again, he was breathing heavily. And that's why, I was just thinking, that's why maybe when he was in Madhuvan, first thing he was doing was controlling his life air only. Because here he was not able to control, right? So 14th verse we see shwasan. Here also we see shwasan. Then mother also shwasan will come. She was also breathing heavily after hearing. So when Dhruva Maharaj reached his mother, his lips were trembling in anger and he was crying very grievously. Queen Suniti immediately lifted her son onto her lap. While the palace residents, whoever heard this, who had heard all the harsh words of Suruchi, related everything in detail. The Suniti also became greatly aggrieved. Right? We see that Suniti also couldn't take that harsh words that was spoken by Suruchi. We can go to the next verse. Sotsrujya dhairyam vilalapa shoka davagnina davalate vabala vakyam sapatnya smarati saroja shriya drishabhashpa kalam uvaha. Translation: this incident was unbearable to Suniti's patience, as I mentioned. Right? Suniti also couldn't take those harsh words. Indirectly also, she began to burn as if in a forest fire. Davagni, nirvapanam. Right? There was no nirvapanam here. There was only davagni. She was completely filled like she is in a forest fire. And in her grief, she became just like a burnt leaf and so lamented. Right? As she remembered the words of her co-wife, her bright lotus face filled with tears, and thus she spoke. Although this is a symptom of a good leader. Whatever happened, she took on herself. But when she was talking to someone else, in this case it was Dhruva Maharaj, she was composed. She was calm and composed. She controlled herself, and she spoke to Dhruva, which was saintly. Although she took all that, she swallowed it on herself, and we see that, right? We see that in Lord Shiva also. Right? When it came to poison, there is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam that what is a symptom of a great Vaishnava? The symptom of a great Vaishnava is that they will take all the problems in life just to give Krishna bhakti to others. And we see this December marathon signifies that. It's so cold out there. Devotees standing outside in evening, especially when it's really peak in terms of degrees, and still distributing the books. This is a very sweet pastime of Srila Prabhupada. He was in Delhi and he was giving out Back to Godhead magazine, printing. He only printing it and he is only distributing it. So at one house when he went, there was another of his god brother who just saw Srila Prabhupada stopping at a house. So he asked Srila Prabhupada, what are you doing? He said, I'm just giving out Back to Godhead magazine. I want to share the teachings of my spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. So he said, then he was on the cycle, this other devotee. So he heard and he left. And after a couple of hours, he came back. And then he saw Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada that time didn't have much. He was in like little bit torn clothes and all that, whatever he had. Because it was before coming to America. And then this devotee said, you are still here. Then he said, yes, because I gave him the book. But this gentleman inside the house told that I'll give you 5 rupees. I'm still waiting for that 5 rupees. For 2 hours, Srila Prabhupada was just standing. And then this devotee felt pity and he said, you please take this 5 rupees and you please go to your home now. And then he gave another. This devotee was telling this story. And then he gave another 5 rupees and he said, you please get some proper clothes as well. So a devotee takes all the troubles just to give Krishna bhakti to others. And in this case was the same. Suniti took all the trouble. Basically, she swallowed everything. But what she gave was only Krishna bhakti to Dhruva Maharaj. Right? So this incident, yeah, we read this. Lotus face, she spoke this. We can go to the next verse. Dirgham, yeah. Dirgham, Shwasan. See again Shwasan. Right? Shwasan, heavily breathing. Dirgham, Shwasanti, Vrijinasya param, apashyati balakam aha bala, mamangalam tat pareshu mamstha, bhungte jano yat paradukkadastat. Translation. She also, now Dhruva Maharaj already completed his breathing heavily. Now it was the time of mother. Mother also started breathing heavily. She also was breathing very heavily. And she did not know the factual remedy for the painful situation. Not finding any remedy, she said to her son, my dear son, don't wish for anything inauspicious for others. Anyone who inflicts pains upon others suffers himself from that pain. So here, Mother Suniti is talking about karma. So he's saying, it's because of some past misdeeds that something has happened. Don't think ill about Suruchi. When something happens to us, there might be many reactions. I was just thinking that there are three main or bucket of reactions that one might have. One is you might take a revenge in an impious way, not in a proper way. That is one way. Second is you control. Basically, you tolerate. Whatever has happened to you, you just tolerate. And third, you take revenge, but in a pious way. Pious way means you take Krishna in the center. You bring Krishna in the center. Arjuna did that. Krishna told Arjuna to fight. And Arjuna kept Krishna in the center in the entire fight. Right? Literally in the center. And same here also. Suniti will tell Dhruva Maharaj that you go to the one and you take shelter of Krishna. Right? But there are certain times, there are situations where it is better to just tolerate. I was hearing with Vrinda, my niece, I was hearing a story. Chaitanya Charan Prabhu was mentioning about, he was describing about various Mahabharata personalities. And what personality he was describing was about Bhishma and that entire pastime of Amba, Ambika and Ambalika. Many of you know the story that Amba, Bhishma wins all three of them and for his brother, because obviously he had taken the vow of not marrying. So he takes all the three queens and takes for his brother, Vichitravir, if I'm not wrong, that's the name of the person. But as soon as he reaches to the palace, back to Kuru dynasty, Amba says that I have already given my love to Shalya. And then Bhishma says, okay, I'll take you to Shalya. Sorry, mistake. I'll take you to Shalya. And Shalya says, I've already been defeated by Bhishma. I cannot take you. So Shalya says no to Amba. Bhishma says, anyways, I have taken a vow of not marrying. Then Amba says, okay, Vichitravir. Vichitravir says, how can I marry you? Now already you have given your heart to Shalya. It will be wrong from my side to marry you now. Now Amba is such a, if she goes to a life coach also, life coach will say, there is no way out. It's a very tough situation. You have to tolerate. Some sages said, why don't you go to your father's house? He said, I've already left my father's house. Those days it was like that. So there was no way out for Amba. Then Amba goes to, but she doesn't understand. Many sages tell her that you please tolerate. Whatever has happened, take it as previous karma. Just take it as like that. But she tries to take revenge against Bhishma in a impious way, not keeping Krishna in the center. Mother Ganga, she also gets angry when she comes to know that, that Amba is trying something to take revenge against Bhishma. Then she curses her. And her body becomes half river and half normal body. Imagine, in such a weird body. But still she doesn't stop. She was like, one point of attention, she wanted to take revenge against Bhishma. And all the personalities gets involved. Parshuram, the great, he's one of the incarnations of the Lord. He also gets involved in entire mess, which Amba was not ready to stop. And then Yaksha gives his body, male body, to Amba in the next life. And it becomes so complicated for Amba. Why? Just because she wanted to take revenge from Bhishma. And there Chaitanya Prabhu says that sometimes it is better to just tolerate. Because the actions that you are going to take a revenge, it only lead to more and more reactions. Now in our case, how to understand what we should do? Then we have to take shelter of Guru. Prithu Maharaj was told not to fight. Arjuna was told, go ahead and fight. Parikshit Maharaj was told, leave him behind, just you focus on Srimad Bhagavatam. And Dhruva Maharaj was told, you don't have any ill against your mother, you just go to Vana and meditate on Krishna. So different shloks for different folks, different answers for different personalities based on situations, right? So some people was asked to tolerate, some people were told to keep Krishna in the center and fight. So in this case, Mother Suniti says that gives him good advice that you please continue, you please go to the Madhuvan and practice Krishna consciousness. We can go to the next words, Prabhu. We can stop here? Okay, we can stop here. I think Prasadam is ready. Perfect time. From one building to other building. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai again. Hari Bol. Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much for tolerating me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Achyuta Prabhu, once again. We will now go to the Prasadam, just after the Prasadam prayers. Who will lead the Prasadam prayers? Okay, someone can sing the Prasadam prayers. We'll show it on the projector.
Sarira vidyaja jodendriya taheka jive phele visaya sadore taramade jivayati lobhamay sudharmati taki jeta kathina sansare Krishna bado doyamoy kori bare jiva jay swaprasadana dilobhay se anamita pao Sri Radha Krishna guna gao preme dakho Sri Chaitanya Nitai Preme dakho Sri Chaitanya Nitai Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave Svapa Punyavatam Rajan Viswasam Jayate Sarva Dukhanam Harirasyo Jayate Prasanna Chetaso Yasu Buddhi Paryavasishtute Vasolanka Charchita Usita Bhojino Dasa Tamayam Jayemahi Bhagavad Sri Mahaprasadam ki jai.